Hi everybody, it's good to be back and to share with you. For those who don't know me, my name is Jill, and myself and my husband Martin often lead on the Pathfinder team at Trinity Churches. Today I've been asked to talk to you on the theme of uncertainty. So I'll start off with a Chinese proverb, and this proverb says, "There is nothing certain but the uncertain." We're reminded of this in the Bible. Some of you may remember the story of the rich fool. This story, which Jesus told, tells us of a man who was very rich. He'd had bumper crops, so much so that he built new barns and he stored all his crops and his riches in these barns, and he thought, I've got life sorted, I'm good, I can live life to the full with the security of knowing that my barns are full. And then he was only to find that life was uncertain and his life was taken from him that very night. So we can be certain of uncertainty in our lives, can't we? And this has been especially true of the last year or so. Not only do we experience general unpredictability in life, but during this COVID-19 pandemic, life has become even more uncertain, hasn't it? And it's been really worrying. We may worry, when will lockdown end? Will there be a vaccine? Will somebody I know die? Life has been so uncertain and it's been so concerning. And even when life is more certain, there are still uncertainties, aren't there? For example, on the 8th of March, when children and young people went back to school and college, although you were certain that you were going back to school or college, you were uncertain how school life would be. What would lessons be like? Where will we sit? How will things have changed? Now, as human beings, we don't really like uncertainty, and we often want to feel safe, secure, control over our lives. And fear and uncertainty can leave us feeling stressed, it can leave us feeling anxious and powerless over the direction of our lives. So during these times of fear and uncertainty, I think it's all really important that we remember how much God loves us and not to be afraid. Because we may be uncertain in life, but we can be certain of God's love for us. We can be certain that God will take care of us, and we can be certain that God has good plans for our lives. I started with a Chinese proverb, so here's something from Proverbs in our own Bible. In the Old Testament, we read from Proverbs 19 these words: "You can make many plans, but the Lord's purpose will prevail." This is affirmed in Psalm 33, where we read, "The Lord's plans stand firm forever. His intentions can never be shaken." So these Bible verses remind us that God himself is our stability. The world may be uncertain and unstable and changing, but God is stable and unchanging. When the unknown twists and turns of life prove turbulent and shaky, God has promised to be our sure foundation. His plans stand with certainty, and God only has good plans for our lives. I remember as a Christian that I used to work with, who often used to put the initials DV on emails. For example, she may write the words, "Oh, I'll finish that piece of work next week, DV." And these words stand for Dio Volente. I'm not sure if I've pronounced that right, Dio Volante. Anyway, these words mean God willing. And I think it's important to remember these words, God willing. God's will, the Father's will be done. And I'm confident that God's will be done. God is sovereign, Jesus is Lord, and his kingdom is unshakable. And that's reassuring to me. When I next see you guys, I think I'll share something of what's happened in the life of my family. And it's been quite a scary year, quite a roller coaster, but everything's worked out okay. God has been in control all along, and I'm just so grateful to have that faith in Jesus. This is so reassuring, isn't it? But even so, during these uncertain times, we can't help but be anxious, and so sometimes it's yet useful to have a few hints and tips on how to cope with uncertainty and anxiety in our lives. One handy hint is that I think we can concentrate on things that are within our control. So, for example, you may be uncertain how the future will turn out. We may be uncertain about how we may do in future exams, but there are some things that we can be certain of, and that's our own ability to do what we can now. So, for example, although we're uncertain how we're going to do in exams, we can take control and do our homework and things like that to the best of our ability. Also, I think many will have said it's important to keep really well, try and eat well, sleep and exercise. But I think another helpful hint is to be thankful. Now, every Sunday during the morning church services, we've seen members of our congregation, share 3 words that describe their experience during lockdown. And quite often people have used the words thankful. It comes up time and time again, as does the word hope. So I encourage you to be thankful for all the good things in life and be hopeful for the future. Yes, we're just so grateful for the good things that God has been doing during this pandemic, and to be thankful helps us to have a positive mindset. This helps us when we're uncertain, and Jesus will hear our prayers and will help us. So yes, try and be thankful during life. Hold on to the fact that God is our sure foundation, and everything will work out well. All will be well. And I look forward to seeing you again soon in person. Bye bye.